Yesterday, I released a video about Claire's Etsy store and how it failed. And lots of you want to know, well, what are the right steps? How do you make it work? How does Claire make her store work? Guys, please listen to the whole of this video. This is how I set all my client stores up for success. These are 8 weeks. The color codes are green is good, yellow is caution, be aware. Yellow, orange is watch out, things are getting problematic, and then back to yellow and green. So there's a different story happening here. That video yesterday, I told you about all the common pitfalls so many people make when they're setting up and running their Etsy stores. So 8 weeks, this is how Claire does it right. Watch this. Week 1, okay? So remember last time she listed 30 items in a week? This time, it's 1 listing per day, and she completes her shop setup. She completes her shop setup. So, seller icon, store icon, shop announcement, make sure the policies are filled in correctly, and your about page. Your about page has text, photos and video. Go and look at it right now. I guarantee you it's not filled out correctly and it's not branded correctly. Step 1, it's just like setting up a real shop. You can't half set the shop up, right? And literally it's 1 listing per day. The amount of people that have said to me, what do you mean open a store with 1 listing? Yes, it's 1 per day. So at the end of the first week, she's got 7 listings in her store. Why do we do this? We do this to protect your conversion rate. So this is the stuff that no one talks about on YouTube. If you list 30 items in 1 week, are you going to make sales? If you put another 20, 30, 40, 50 listings in there, are you going to make the sales to support all that listing? No, you're not. You're not going to make those sales. So this is why we go slow and steady. 7 listings, set your shop up correctly, get it branded, get your banner up, seller icon, store icon, announcement, about page, text, photos, video. Go and check, I guarantee you haven't got it all. First week, into the second week. So now things get really interesting, right? This is how you do it right. So, this is what you do in the second week. Set up your shop sections, okay? Set up your shop sections. So you should be thinking about where your store is going and what you're going to create and what those sections look like. So the categories of items you're going to sell, right? Set up your shop sections, start putting your listings into those sections and link to those sections and your storefront from the product description. I have a video for that. Just search shop sections and you can watch that video. Teaches you exactly how to do it. So you want to link to the section the product comes from. So if you've got sort of wooden bowls, in the description you say, see more of our wooden bowls here and link to that section so that people can move around your store easily. You create a spider's web of movement and attention. Remember, Etsy sees all these signals. It works with how interested people are in your store. So, sections and links and no ads. Guys, no ads. Remember in yesterday's example, she was using ads on and off different values. Don't do it. You don't want to get hooked up to the ads algorithm. You want to be hooked up to the organic algorithm. This is the mistake so many sellers make. Don't do it. You've got to prove your worth. You've got to prove to Etsy that you're worth it organically. Ads come much later. Much later. You will notice at no point in these 8-week steps am I talking about ads. I'm not talking about it at all. So now we're at 14 listings. Okay, the store's starting to grow. 2 weeks, but slow and steady. Week number 3, it gets even more interesting. And I'm going to bring something in I've spoken about once on my YouTube channel. I've talked about this once. You use category command on your shop sections. So fill out your shop sections with your products equally. You only get 1 chance to get this true data from customers. You won't be able to do it 6 months or a year down the line because your sections will be full up willy-nilly with all sorts of products and different numbers. But from the start, you can use category command. If you fill your shop sections evenly, so 1 item, 1 item, 1 item, 2 items, 2 items, 2 items, and just basically grow them at the same size, You get true feedback from your customers in sales as to what they like, because there's no skewing or shifting of section numbers, how many items are in each section. So category command or section command, grow them at the same speed. Then you know the feedback is 100% correct. There's no skewing or misrepresenting in the numbers because you haven't listed into your sections evenly. And now we're at 21 listings. So look, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're still only at 21 listings, but we're growing steadily, supporting the store, not swamping it with listings and cratering the chances of your conversion rate staying up. Yes, your views are low, that's fine. We want it to be that way. We don't want your views going through the roof with social media and advertising and all this rubbish that's just going to kill your conversion rate. This is how you do it, right? So then we get to week 4. We're still yellow, things are still okay because we've got a good system, we've got a good structure. Claire's working well to a plan, right? Now, week 4, decent work to be done here, really important. Check your photos and video. So now work, when you first open your store, you do your photography and video, it's going to get improved over time. You're going to improve it. So now week 4, go back over your photos, check what can be improved. Look at the data. You've got to start looking at the traffic coming into your store now. Where is the traffic focusing? So what are customers interested in? You will see clear signals on what they like and what they don't like. You need to note that and make a note of what's going on with the traffic and what they're interested in. Now comes a long-term listing plan. You know I always talk about getting to 100 listings. It's with very good reason. You've got to give Etsy enough to work on in your store, and you've got to give yourself a chance and your store a chance to grow and customers to tell you what they want. So listing plan, it's basically 1 a day, but now commit. When you get here, commit to this 100 listing plan, okay? Just get as far as you possibly can with it and head towards 100 listings. So this is all about consolidation, looking at the traffic, looking at your photos and video. Have you got video? No, add it, right? You've got to have video, right? Let's get this number up. We're at 28 listings, and now we move into week 5. So more new stuff for you guys to learn. Claire makes her first sale, right? Just as she did yesterday. She makes her first sale, she's elated, she's really happy. And now you bring in the pricing spectrum. Pricing spectrum, this is bands of prices people are able to and are willing to pay for goods and services that they want to buy. Every human being uses the pricing spectrum. We have a subconscious conversation in our mind about price before we buy something, even a bottle of water. You'll look at the bottle of water, you'll look at the price and you'll say, oh, that's $2 or $3. I don't know, maybe that was a bit cheap, I don't know. Or you might say, oh, that's $3. Wasn't that $2.50 last week? You'll have this little conversation in your mind. And the higher prices get, the bigger this pricing spectrum conversation gets. So we have to make sure that customers who have qualified their pricing spectrum conversation get met with products they can buy from you that are at those prices, right? If you're only selling at $10, $15, $20, how are you going to sell to a customer that comes in looking for their pricing spectrum answers to be met at $50? You can't sell to them because you don't have the products. They're going to have to wander around your store trying to find what they want to make the value they want, which is $50, because they might have a party, they might have a special occasion, they might have a work do, they might have a big family, who knows what they're buying, right? But you've got to provide the value and the right prices to sell to them. So rule number 1, $20 to $50. If you're selling physical products, make sure you cover those price ranges heavily. If you're selling digital, it's $2 to $20, right? And then anything beyond that, fill in as you like. You can sell $50 to $100, $100 to $200. You can sell whatever prices you like. But just know that $20 to $50 is the prime selling price range. $50 to $100 is behind that in popularity. 2 to 10 for digital, and then sort of 10 to 50 beyond that, right? Pricing spectrum. Most sellers don't even know what that is, but now you guys know exactly what that is. That helps you sell more. So Claire's happy. She's using all this structure and flow. This is how I teach people. This is how I get the results, right? And now we're into week 6. So what's going on in week 6? We get to week 6. And now again, Claire checks traffic again. So now she's made a sale, more traffic's coming in. You've got to now push into what works. So now you're getting signals. By the 6th week, you will be getting signals on areas in your store that customers are focusing on. Claire made a sale. She's got to go straight to that, look at the product and say, how can I twist this? How can I make more products around this that work? Again, this is common business sense, right? If you owned a shop and you were selling stock and you see certain things selling, you go and get more of it. You make more around it. But so many Etsy sellers don't pick up on this. Push into what's working, check the traffic, just see where the heat is coming into your store from the customers and immediately respond and make more of those items, right? We're now at 42 listings. Do you see? Now the store is starting to grow. And now we see why I hold you back, why I say slow and steady, slow and steady. Let the store breathe, let the customers come to you, analyze what's going on, create the framework, right? So into week 7. Okay, and Claire makes her second sale. But she's made her second sale so much differently than yesterday, the last time. No ads, no random testing, hit and miss, bringing all sorts of different products in. She's got a structure, she's got identity on her product, she knows what's going on, she's made her second sale, and she remembers she's got to keep listing now. This is the part, this is the hard work. You've got to go. She's almost at 50 listings, but she's got to get to 100, right? She's got to keep pushing. So she takes that to heart. She takes the motivation about getting to that 100 listing number, and we move on to week 8. So week 8, we're 8 weeks out. The tabs have gone green, and this is critical now for so many of you. Third sale is made. She never got there last time because she didn't have a structure, a flow, and a process. This time she did. She's made her third sale, and now she brings in her extra weapons, themes, sets, and bundles. You don't set up your themes, sets, and bundles until you've got products to play with. How are you going to make themes, sets, and bundles when you don't have anything, right? Now's the time. You've got 56 listings. You're creating more listings as you go. Themes, sets, and bundles are groups of listings with more items in each listing for sale that you charge more for. You raise your average order value, you make more money, and give customers what they want at the pricing spectrum they want it, right? So for example, if you're making keychains, one of my clients, really nice lady, she makes keychains, and I'm teaching her right now how to set up these themes, sets, and bundles. For example, if you sell keychains and you just sell single keychains, that's great. Lots of people will buy a single keychain. But what about basketball teams? What about Cub Scout groups? What about organizations, work communities? They will want multiples of these keychains for their organization. And obviously they come in with a pricing spectrum much higher. They're not spending $20 on it. They want to spend 150 or 200 because they need to buy 8, 10, 12 of these things, right? Themes, sets, and bundles. Really, really important. Theme is an identity. So you might have a nautical theme, right? Sets is a set of 4 on a specific subject. So it's smaller than a theme. Themes tend to be larger, sets tend to be smaller. Bundles are usually the largest of all. They can be anything put together in a high value discounted bundle. All of these serve 2 functions. Number 1, you'll make more money, okay, because people spend more with you. But number 2, it's an easy way to grow your store. If you're getting review fatigue and you're not review fatigue, listing fatigue, you're getting tired, right? That may be happening. Create some theme sets and bundles. Take the heat off. You've already made the listings, theme them, set them, bundle them. And that helps you move on towards 60, 70, 80 listings and getting to this important 100 listing number. It's just important to know these structures of how you get there and make money on Etsy. So this is how Claire succeeds. Let me know if that answered your questions, because I know a lot of you were asking for this. And as always, if you want me to help you with this stuff, don't wait, don't guess, The booking now button's coming up on your screen that takes you to a booking form to book in for a one-to-one free Zoom call with me, so I can tell you how in paid consultations, mentoring, I can help you build and grow your Etsy business. I look forward to catching you in the comments and catching you in the consultations. Cheers.